So a few days ago, I cleaned up a ton of my parts for my 1977 Volkswagen bus, and I've had a lot of people commenting and just like saying, "Oh my gosh, these parts look so good," including myself. I think they look really good. But I kind of wanted to go over how I turn, really trashy parts like this into stuff like this. I mean, this looks like a new part. By far the most important part of painting is what you do before the painting. I've tried paint strippers, I've tried grinders, I've tried sandblasting, and I think everything has its place. Starting off with the paint stripper, just seriously don't get the cheap stuff. If you're going to try any kind of paint stripper, I would just recommend going to the best stuff. Next, grinding wheels are it. That is where you're going to get most of the paint off. I recommend getting one of these like braided wire brushes. Hold on, let me turn my camera around. One of these guys, and I have cleaned off this part, those parts, this whole panel, that entire panel, then finishing off with a sandblaster. This is a McGraw 20-gallon compressor from Harbor Freight. This ran me about $250. And then the infamous tiny sand blaster kit. This guy was $35 and it works. Now for the blast media, that right there is play sand from Home Depot. Now when you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or anywhere that's got the play sand, make sure you go inside to get sand. Otherwise, the stuff outside is wet and you'd have to wait for it to dry. I went through about 1.5 bags, 75 pounds of play sand. I made last for all of these parts. Just a little tip, if anybody is using this sandblaster, don't use thick blast media, use really fine stuff. That's really all that works with it. And now that we've covered how to get the parts really nice and shiny, I will tell you, the paint is also important. Once upon a time, I was a forklift repair guy, and if we ever had to repaint a forklift, that's the kind of paint that we'd use right there. And it is super heavy duty, it is industrial use. I definitely splurged on this paint, but I intend on using this for the entire underside of the bus. So one last thing I want to go over is about water separation. I have this guy set up right now. This is my little water separator that I hook up at the end of my compressor. So you want to have about 20 feet of line before this water separator. You don't want water coming through when you're trying to paint or you're trying to sandblast, because the introduction of water is just going to mess everything up. Let me know if you have any questions, and follow to see me fix this bus behind me and take it around the country.